Before you start reading, I need you to ask yourself something. What would you do if the person who shattered your life came back right before your new beginning? Would you ignore them? Would you meet them? Would you forgive them? This isn't just a story about betrayal. It's about rebuilding, boundaries, and choosing yourself when everything falls apart. Read until the end, because sometimes closure isn't about forgiveness, it's about power. And if you've ever had to rebuild your life from emotional ruins, this one is for you. The man who shattered my life texted me 2 weeks before my wedding. 6 years. 6 silent, carefully rebuilt years, and his name still had the power to make my lungs forget how to work. My name is Arya, and in 14 days, I am supposed to marry the most extraordinary man I have ever known. His name is Daniel. He's a corporate attorney, precise, composed, devastatingly intelligent. He has this quiet steadiness about him, like the kind of anchor ships don't realize they need until a storm hits. Being with him feels like standing on solid ground after years of walking through emotional quicksand. I never thought I would find someone like him. Not after Leo. But 3 days ago, at 8:17 p.m., my phone lit up with a name I had erased from every corner of my life. Leo. Just seeing it there, bold and unapologetic, felt like someone had reached through time and pressed directly on a scar I worked years to build over. The message was simple. Arya, I need to see you one last time. Please. Everything isn't what you think it was. I stared at it for a full minute before I even breathed. 6 years. 6 years of nothing. No apologies. No explanations. No closure. And now, 2 weeks before I walk down the aisle to someone else, he wants to explain. The audacity made my hands shake. But to understand why that message hit like a grenade, I have to take you back to the night my world imploded. 6 years ago, I was supposed to get married. The venue was booked, an elegant vineyard just outside the city, draped in white silk and soft candlelight. My dress hung in the closet like a promise. Ivory lace, fitted bodice, delicate cap sleeves. I had cried when I found it, convinced it was fate. Leo and I had been together for years. We met in grad school. He was magnetic, confident without trying, the kind of man who could walk into a room and command it effortlessly. He made me feel chosen, special. I believed I knew him. I was wrong. The night before the wedding, I realized I had forgotten to pick up the backup wedding band. We were staying separately that night, tradition and all that nonsense. I was at a hotel suite with my maid of honor, trying to pretend I wasn't nervous. The ring was still at the apartment Leo and I shared. No big deal. I told my friend I'd be back in 20 minutes. I drove through quiet streets, my mind full of tomorrow's details, the vows, the music, how my late mother's necklace would rest against my collarbone. I remember smiling to myself in the car. God, that memory feels cruel now. I unlocked the apartment at around 10:05 p.m. The lights were on. I assumed he had come home to grab something too. Maybe he couldn't sleep either. I remember thinking how romantic it would be, a small, stolen moment before the wedding. I walked down the hallway, and then I heard it. A laugh. My laugh, but softer. Breathier. Intimate. The kind of laugh that belongs to a bedroom, not a living room. For half a second, my brain refused to interpret what it meant. Denial is an incredible thing. I opened the bedroom door, and there he was, Leo, in our bed, with my half-sister, Camila. They weren't scrambling apart in shock. They weren't caught in some accidental embrace. They were tangled together in sheets we had picked out together at IKEA. There were 2 wine glasses on my nightstand, candles, music playing softly from his phone. This wasn't spontaneous. This was planned. Camila saw me first. Her face didn't show horror. It showed resignation, like someone whose lie had simply reached its expiration date. Leo turned next. His expression, I will never forget it, was not guilt. It was relief. As if the performance was finally over. I didn't scream. I didn't throw anything. I just stood there. 30 seconds that felt like 30 years. My half-sister. The girl who grew up sharing a bathroom with me every other weekend after our parents divorced. The girl I defended when our father favored her because she was from his second marriage. The girl I let borrow my clothes and confide in me about boys. She pulled the sheet up to her chest and started crying. "Arya," she kept saying. "Arya, please." Leo sat up slowly. "Let me explain." I think that was the moment something inside me detached, because I felt nothing. No heat, no tears, no screaming, just a hollow, expanding silence inside my chest. Then Camila said the words that will live inside my bones forever. "I'm so sorry, but I never wanted to marry you. I wanted him. I've always wanted him." The wedding was in 12 hours. And my fiancé was telling me I was never meant to be the bride. I turned around, and I left. By midnight, I had called the venue and canceled. By 1:30 a.m., I sent a mass email to 120 guests explaining that the wedding was off due to unforeseen circumstances. By 3 a.m., I was refunding plane tickets. By 6 a.m., I had packed 2 suitcases. By noon, what should have been my wedding day, I was driving 3 hours away to a different city where an old college friend had once offered me a position at her tech startup. I didn't cry until I crossed the state line. And when I did, it wasn't delicate. It was animalistic. Grief mixed with humiliation, mixed with disbelief. I wasn't mourning just the relationship. I was mourning the version of myself who believed in it. The first year was survival. I worked 18-hour days. I threw myself into the startup construction project management software that no one thought would scale. Work was easier than thinking. Because when I stopped working, questions crept in. When did it start? Did they laugh about me? How many times did she sit at my kitchen table pretending to be my sister while sleeping with my fiancé? Did my father know?
He did.
Or, at least he suspected. And he told me I was overreacting when it came out. The betrayal was layered. Romantic, familial, paternal. It felt systemic, like I had been the only one not reading the script. By year 2, the company began to gain traction. By year 3, we were listed among the fastest-growing startups in the state. By year 4, I bought out my partner and expanded to 3 offices. Success did not heal me, but it gave me space to breathe. And somewhere between investor meetings and software launches, Leo and Camila stopped being the first thought in the morning. That's when I met Daniel. He was representing a subcontractor in a contract dispute with my firm. He dismantled my argument in the conference room with surgical precision. I respected him immediately. After the settlement, I asked him to dinner. He said no. I asked again 2 weeks later. He said no again. The third time, he said yes, but later confessed he only agreed because I showed persistence without arrogance. We've been together 2 years now. He knows everything. He has seen me go quiet on the anniversary of that night. He has held me without demanding I forgive. He has never asked me to minimize what happened for the sake of family. 2 months ago, I proposed to him.
Yes.
Life doesn't always give us clean endings. Sometimes we have to create them ourselves. So tell me, do you believe in forgiveness? Or do you believe in moving forward without it? Comment your thoughts below. Share this with someone who needs a reminder that rebuilding is possible. And if you've ever turned your pain into power, I'd love to hear your story. Because sometimes the best revenge isn't karma, it's peace.